Coming up on the 49ers Report by Chat Sports, I'm going to answer all of your 49ers news and rumors questions heading into Saturday night's divisional round matchup against the Green Bay Packers in the second round of the NFL playoffs. So without further ado, let's start off this mailbag with answering this question coming in from one of our loyal subscribers as we go live every single Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, Ronnie Baca. How do you think our secondary is going to do? You know, it's really hard to say because this Niners defense, back in week 3, when the Niners lost by 2 to the Green Bay Packers, was one of the worst in the NFL. But their secondary has gotten a lot better. Their pass rush has become much more consistent. I think with time, with reps, with game experience, defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans, who's interviewing this week for the Minnesota Vikings head coaching vacancy, has become a much better defensive coordinator. Really, what I've said all year is it comes down to the pass rush. If you're able to get home and get pressure on the quarterback, it makes the entire back end's job a lot, and I mean a lot easier. Now, Arik Armstead, Nick Bosa, DJ Jones, Jordan Willis, who might miss this game, as well as Samson Ebukam and Arden Key, Charles Omenihu, they've been great up front. And DeMeco Ryans has done a great job of mixing and matching some players from the edge, putting them on the interior to exploit some of the mismatches against the opposing offensive line. And they've been able to get a great pass rush. But can I please give credit to Ambry Thomas and his growth as a rookie for what K'Wan Williams has been able to do, for what Emmanuel Mosley has been able to do. Those three guys at the cornerback spot have been very, very good. And I continue to say that Jimmy Ward, Jaquiski Tartt, two of the most underrated safeties in the National Football League. BK from the Bay, what do you say? Is Bosa cleared to play Sunday? So, of course, we're recording this during our live show on Tuesday. He is in the NFL's concussion protocol. So he's going to have to meet all week with independent neurologists. On Monday, though, we did pass along an update, and that was the last official update that we got on Nick Bosa. There is belief that one of the NFL's best edge rushers, who finished the year with 15.5 sacks, joke, by the way, he didn't make second team All-Pro, and sacked Dak Prescott, missed that second half because of that concussion, is going to be able to play, and if he does, it greatly improves the Niners' chances of pulling off the upset against Aaron Rodgers and the Pack. Roc Peebles, can we give it up to Arik Armstead and DJ Jones for moving that line? Don't forget Emmanuel Mosley and the rookie Ambry Thomas in the back end. Bang, bang. So, Roc Peebles, you literally read my mind, and you got this question in right before I started to just kind of explain the impact that Arik Armstead has had. He's been one of the best interior defensive linemen in the NFL really all throughout the year since DeMeco Ryans started using him less as an edge and more as a defensive tackle. DJ Jones, a bargain deal for him to be on the 49ers this year for like $3+ million. And then Ambry Thomas, the growth from the rookie has been tremendous. Emmanuel Mosley has been great. If they play like they've been playing, they're going to make Aaron Rodgers' job a lot harder. Wet Noodle 187 coming at us from Seattle and enemy territory. Those Sea Chickens out of the playoffs. Niners advancing. Has Jimmy's trade value gone up? So the Jimmy Garoppolo haters will be delusional about this subject matter and say, no, it hasn't gone up. There's no way that San Francisco can get a second-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. I think they're going to be able to get at least a second-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. Look, he went on the road against the Los Angeles Rams as underdogs, overcame a 17-0 deficit to win in dramatic fashion in overtime. Then the following week, and by the way, outplayed Matthew Stafford. And then in the wild card round, he really outdueled Dak Prescott. And honestly, was there a huge gap between Dak Prescott and Jimmy Garoppolo? I'm going to say no. He's on the book next year for about $26-27 million as that figure with bonuses continues to kind of fluctuate all throughout the year. There are quarterback desperate teams all across the NFL. And let's say he wins one playoff game against the Cowboys. He basically won a playoff game against the Rams to round out the regular season. And if he duels it out with Aaron Rodgers, I can guarantee you that if the Niners want to move on from Garoppolo, they're going to get at least a second-round pick back because he wins a lot of games, and that, to me, one of the most important quarterback stats. So speaking of this game on Saturday night from the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, if you're watching this live, we'll break this game down here in just a few moments. If not, watch it on the channel if you haven't already done so after the fact. Who you got on Saturday? Do you think the Niners pull off the upset as now 6-point underdogs? Type SF. You think the Packers as a top seed are going to win it? Type GB. Matthew Bowman with this. Mike Robinson said the other day that cut that Deebo made, he doesn't even know any running backs, let alone a wide receiver making that cut. Deebo is on another level. So during our live show and during our news and rumor segment, I kind of broke that run down. And this is why Deebo Samuel is so special. Like, has any player in NFL history done what Deebo has done this year as both a traditional wide receiver who is then flexed as a running back? I can't remember one. This guy is so special. And on that 25-yard touchdown run, it was designed right. And he had to show some patience because there wasn't a hole. So Deebo goes right, shows patience, cuts it up to the middle of the field with that explosion, great vision, and him being shifty, then cuts it back to the right in order to get to pay dirt. That play really just encapsulates how special Deebo Samuel has been in 2021 going into 2022. Candyman 34, any concerns about the Niners' injuries going into Saturday? So there's belief that Garoppolo is going to be okay with that sprained shoulder, that Nick Bosa is going to be able to play with that concussion, at least overcoming that concussion. He's not going to play with it, of course, in nowadays NFL when the rules are so stringent. And Fred Warner, with that low ankle sprain, not high right ankle sprain, one of the best linebackers in the game, going to be able to play as well. Now, here's where my concern kind of comes in. It's going to be a low at night of like 7 degrees. There's a chance of snow earlier on in the day. Weather's going to play a factor. So how does the human body react when you're getting slammed to a frozen turf? That honestly can affect guys and cause more injuries or cause you to be in more pain. Some of the concerns that I have going into Saturday's divisional round. Now, if you want to bet on this game on Saturday, hey, do so with our sportsbook partner, BetUS, the best sportsbook in the game. Head to chatsports.com/49bet. Enter the promo code Niners125 for a 125% deposit bonus. You plug in $100 into your account, you get an additional $125 back just by using that link in that promo code. And we really have a good divisional slate on Saturday and Sunday. Titans, number 1 seed in the AFC, 3.5-point favorites over the Cincinnati Bengals. I think San Francisco can pull off the upset as 6-point dogs. Tampa, 3-point favorites against the Los Angeles Rams in a rematch of a game that was straight up epic earlier on this year at SoFi Stadium, which the Rams outlasted Tampa Bay. Kansas City, Baltimore. This is really one of the more fascinating matchups of the weekend. Buffalo, excuse me. I'm going to go with Buffalo to pull off the upset as 2.5-point dogs. They're getting 2.5. They're playing wonderful football. Josh Allen is 1 of 1, and I think they end the Kansas City Chiefs' run and reign as the AFC top dogs. Get your bets in, chatsports.com/49bet. Enter the promo code Niners125. Travis Jackson, a loyal subscriber and viewer. What player for Green Bay besides Aaron Rodgers are you most worried about? Has to be Davante Adams, because while the 49ers secondary has been very, very good the last several weeks, not just couple, the last several weeks, Davante Adams is really a special player. This year, more than 1,500 yards in receiving. Last year, he set the record for the most receiving touchdowns in a single season for a wide receiver in 15 games, which is impressive. And he burned the Niners earlier on this year because the Niners don't really have a cornerback to match up. So I'm interested to see what DeMeco Ryans does. Does he kind of shadow a defender over the top to double team Davante Adams? A lot of defensive coordinators don't really like to do that. Do they try to get home with the blitz? And that's really the game plan going in. Then you adjust on the fly. But Davante Adams, a very, very special player. Mike Concho typing in SF. Hey, man. Thanks for supporting the show. We greatly appreciate that. AJ Joshi, is Jimmy's job still in danger in San Francisco? Now, I'm not going to categorize it like that, like his job is in danger. The Niners clearly were worried about his injury history. They were worried about him being able to step on the field and stay on the field, and that's why they drafted Trey Lance. And look, Jimmy Garoppolo, while he's been clutch and great this year at times, and he's been bad at other times, he wins a lot of games. But he has a cap, right? He has a ceiling. Trey Lance, in my opinion, doesn't. I think he has so much ability, and the Niners saw that. And they see a prospect who got drafted when he was 20 years old, needed some developing. They needed to groom him, and that's why they kept Garoppolo on this roster, and I think it's going to bode well for San Francisco moving into the future. So is Jimmy Garoppolo going to be the starter next year? I'm not sure about that. I think they're going to move forward with Trey Lance, but I think they're going to be able to get back, a second-round pick at the very least for Jimmy Garoppolo if they decide to trade him. Anthony with the $2 super chat. You sent in two. Appreciate that. JG wants to be traded. Trey wants to start next year. Of course, Trey Lance wants to start. If you're a competitor in any business, let alone professional sports, where you have to be an uber competitor in order to get into the professional ranks, of course you want to start. Does Jimmy Garoppolo want to be traded? Of course, because he wants to play. Anthony with another super chat that I'm reading off my screen. Niners 31-28 win. Rodgers with 2 picks. Elijah Mitchell 2 touchdowns. Thank you for that $2 super chat as well. If that rings true, we're going to be partying here on the Niners Report during our watch party on Saturday. Bayboy 34, is it time to pay Deebo Samuel? I think it is. He truly has had a marvelous year. If you're watching on our live show, I already broke this down. Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, they have a big decision to make, and John Lynch said the other day that we want Deebo Samuel to be a part of this team for the long haul. We're going to pay him at some point. Now, next year, he's going into the final year of his rookie contract. His base salary in the final year of that rookie deal, less than $2 million. This is what John Lynch had to say about paying Deebo. Good job by producer Marshall Green for pulling this up on the fly. Deebo's going to be well compensated, and we plan on him being a Niner for a long time. When that happens, how that happens, I don't know. But yes, we are very aware of the many ways he contributes to our offense, and his time is coming. I don't know when, but his time will come. And I think it's only a matter of time before Deebo gets paid. And because of his ability to impact the game as a pass catcher and as a running back, I truly believe that he is one of one, a very special cat. I think he's going to get the bag and secure that. So Deebo Samuel is a top blank wide receiver in the NFL. Fill in the blank in the comment section for me right now. And make sure you give me a follow on social media at Chase_Senior. I tweet out all the content that we push out here on the 49ers Report. I tweeted out my best calls, play-by-play from 49ers Cowboys over the weekend, and I love interacting with the Niner gang. So it's at Chase_Senior on Twitter, at Chase_Senior on Instagram during our live show. If you give me a follow, I'll give you a shout out right here live.